What's up, guys? It's Dorian from Cardboard Cravings, and today we have Craig's deck profile from the Toronto Regional that just passed. I think he placed 18th. He definitely got his invite. It was 350 players, 48 invites. I think he ended up going X2, but he had a great day on a deck he had never played or practiced up until then. This is his deck profile just because we had to get it done as soon as possible. You know pretty much the deck at this point. It is Orcust Striker. So 3 Mathematician. Mathematician's your normal summon, it's your starter. If you need to know this, because Craig didn't know this for a long time during the tournament, when this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can draw a card. So just remember that. That's a very important piece of information that could be useful in your future games. We play 3 Nightmare. This can be a little tricky. Craig decided on 3 Nightmare because he wanted to make sure he saw it. He felt like he was very unlucky, whereas most people might play 2. I would play 2 going forward, but you can play with the numbers and figure out what you like best. Obviously, there's 3 Harp, double Symbol Skeleton. So 1 that dumps, 1 that specials. Essentially, you don't have to worry about the rest of them, but Craig did play 1 Brass Bombard. I don't know how well this went. I didn't hear much about it, but I believe it was an easy side out. It's the tuner one. It's the one that's not necessarily relative, but if you ever do need an Orcust, it adds to the total number of Orcust cards, and it's just another name pretty much. 2 hand traps, just Ash and Crow. Ash at 2 and Crow at 2 because you want to get rid of the cards in the graveyard right now, as we agree, especially in the podcast, that the graveyard is a second hand pretty much, and getting the cards banished out of the graveyard as a quick effect, DD Crow is very useful right now. Ash is just to stop everything else that happens to come around. It hurts Rogue, it hurts adding. You can Ash even a return in the mirror, so it's really useful. Or, I mean, Ash and engage, you know? The one-ofs are World Legacy World Wand as a must. Gizmek, it's a must in this version of the deck because you fill the graveyard so much, you always want that extra summon, and because of IP, it's necessary to have in this deck. Armageddon Knight to dump, Dark Grepher to dump, more starters, your normal summons, and so forth. It is Orcust Striker, so we have a Widow, a Jamming, a Hornet Drones, Shark Cannon, Hornet obviously because we don't play Ray, Engage, Engage, and of course Engage. The 3 engages are necessary. It gets you any of these other cards. The package is useful, it fits well, and it's actually really smart. Foolish, Rhoda, 1 Upstart. If the deck is at 42, he decided on playing Upstart because it's just another spell engrave. It's worth it. Double Cosmic for the main deck counters. The counter traps are really annoying. Your Orcust spells are Babble, allows you to do your Orcust stuff on their turn, Return, and you should probably play 2 Return. Allure was also played at 3. No particular reason as to why. Some people play this at 2, some people play Return at 1, some people play Return at 3. It really depends on how comfortable you are with drawing, and realistically, if you're going to have the Orcust in hand, all the other monsters in the deck are dark except for Ash, I believe, and Mathematician. So realistically, there isn't much to worry about when it comes to getting rid of a card or banishing another copy of a starter. We also have 1 Crescendo, don't need to play that at more than 1, and triple Imperm to stop combo or the mirror. Off to the side's missing a couple cards. It was actually Radiant, and I think it was another twin. So I'll just show you what we've got. We've got a Twin Twister for back row, Galaxy Cyclones for floodgates and the counter traps, triple Lancia for the mirror, and I mean evenly matched. Then you have Evenly itself. Craig liked playing this card. Back row decks, it just hurts them, and you can OTK if you really need to the next turn. You don't need to worry too much about back row, but it is very relevant. And finally, the back row stopper themselves, Pankra. Pankra is the best card in the side deck right now, other than Lancia, because it gets rid of pretty much anything you need. It's a free body for link summoning, and it can also just stay on the board as a top tier beater, so it's good to have. Finally, the extra deck. 1 Longirsu, triple Galatea. This one, I probably would have replaced Galatea, the 3rd one, with, at the time we couldn't think of it, but it's Barricade Bore Blocker. It's that link 2 that I'll show on the screen actually right here. Protects your field spell, at the end phase gets you a field spell, or dumps a spell to grave. It's actually really dope. The leftover from the Arcust is 2 Dingirsu. Not played at 3, it's not necessary. Even 1 is pretty much okay, but 2 is really useful for the grind. This deck is the grindiest. You have your Sky Striker targets. You have 1 Kagari, 1 Shizuku. There's a chance you could probably fit a Kaina in here instead of one of these other Topologic monsters, but I think all of these monsters are pretty tight fit. The Nightmare package, we've got a Phoenix to get rid of back row and Unicorn to get rid of back row. Unicorn you can always link up into using the Masquerena, so it's actually really relevant. The Topologic targets, Topologic Zeraboros, all the banished cards on the field, it gains attack for. It also, if something special summons to the zone it points to, it gets banished. Everything on the field gets banished. It's like the most busted card in the game right now, and no one seems to actually believe that it's good. Trisbana hurt me specifically. I was playing Draco, and a lot of our testing, he just banishes all my spells and traps, whether they're set or not. So that's kind of super annoying. Finally, there was Bomber. Bomber was a pretty good card as well. Bomber just, you know, at this point you should know what Bomber does. It gets rid of all special summon monsters. If it points to something, it gets blown up. Finally, Borrelsword. You can't miss a deck without 4 special summons without Borrelsword. Borrelsword will kill people. Borrelsword is your OTK, it's your win condition. It's a lot of the reason why you play this deck. If you don't have Borrelsword, you can't generally win as easily as you would hope to. So as soon as you disrupt the opponent or get rid of their preventative measures, you just kill them. And then finally, Bay of the event, Bay of pretty much the meta right now, IP Masquerena. Masquerena allows you to link summon on the opponent's turn. So Masquerena will let you, as long as you have the materials on your field, which include, if you have Babel, technically special summoning for free on the opponent's turn, as well as Gizmek Orochi. So this allows you to make any Link 3 or Link 4 whenever you want, and that's what the Topologics are good for in the deck. So yeah, you can also make a Link 2 actually, so Nightmare Phoenix is also good, but yeah. And that's the deck profile. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked the video, subscribe for more quality content. We also do a podcast every week. We're not stuck on a particular schedule, but we're open to having guests, and we just talk about everything Yu-Gi-Oh related and more. So if there's more to talk about in the news or entertainment or pretty much anything else that you want to hear some guys talk about, we talk about it on a podcast. Feel free to go watch that. The link will be in the description. The video should be attached at the end in the end card. See you guys later.